Hello everybody, Raven Knight here, coming at you with a really quick video. I wanted to just make this because I've been getting a lot of questions lately, and one of those questions is, hey Raven, you're a Dead by Daylight player, have you been trying out the new killer in Dead by Daylight, the Ghoul, or Kaneki, as many call him. I don't call him Kaneki, I call the Ghoul Rize because that's the skin I got, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But yes, I have been playing the Ghoul, I have been trying them out, and today what I want to do is very briefly tell you guys what I think about the Ghoul, and tell you guys what I think about Tokyo Ghoul, because I got a confession to make. I didn't really watch or read Tokyo Ghoul, the manga or anime. I never really got into that. It looked kind of weird to me. I know that my cousin liked it and she tried to get me into it, but I just never really got into it. But now that there's actually a killer in Dead by Daylight from that anime, I might as well, give it a look. So I started watching Tokyo Ghoul. I haven't gotten very far into it. I've only just barely started, really. I just got to the part, I can't remember which episode number it is, but I just got to the part where he nearly gets eaten at that gourmet place, and then the dude who's voiced by J. Michael Tatum in the English dub, he realizes that he's the one-eyed ghoul, and so he ends that shit real quick and decides to protect him. That's about where I left off. So obviously I have not gotten very far at all. I need to watch more. I just haven't had time. So trust me, I know people are going to hit me in the comments and say, dude, you got to watch more. This is what's going to happen. And please, guys, no spoilers. I want to try to get this fair. I'll watch a couple seasons if I can and give you guys my thoughts. But more to the point. Okay, so my thoughts based on just what I've seen. It's definitely unique. It's interesting. It made me want to keep watching at certain points. There were a lot of really good moments. And I know that there's always this debate between Japanese dub and English dub. Me personally, it really depends on the anime for me. I tried both the Japanese and English dub, and I thought both were good in their own ways. Monica Rail as Rize was a little off-putting because I just don't see Monica doing that voice, but that's beside the point.
There's something I like even more than reading. Know what that is? Ripping the organs out of someone who's too terrified to run away from me. Oh, how I love the look on your face. So what do you say, Kaneki? Will you let me have my fun?
Luckily for us in the game, they get the Japanese cast to do it, so you don't get Monica Rail doing Rize's voice. You get the actual Japanese voice actress who does phenomenal, by the way. She's so creepy, but that's what you want. I'm not going to spoil anything about the show. You need to watch it yourself, honestly, but I'll tell you this much. If I had my positives to say about the show, it's got a great atmosphere. It's got really good pacing. I was surprised by how good the pacing was. And the idea is very creative, and I also liked a lot of the characterizations. They do very well. Brina Palencia as the main love interest, because that's what she is. I know that she hasn't done anything love interesty yet, but come on, I can see the writing on the wall there. And the fact that I can see the writing on the wall there tells you it's pretty obvious that she will be the love interest at some point. I didn't expect Brina to play this role. Brina Palencia is the same lady who plays Chopper in One Piece. Like, it doesn't... It's hard for me to associate these two, but...
Patch, 2:30 tomorrow at the train station. Show up late and I'll kill you. Yeah, what?
I was just wondering, what happened to Hinami?
Why should I tell you? It's none of your business.
Robin, you better eat fast before all the food is gone.
Just let me get to a stopping point first.
Okay, but I heard that if you read too much, you turn into a yucky bug. They call them bookworms.
Beside the point. If I had any real criticisms, it's two criticisms so far. The first one is just an in-lore criticism. How long have ghouls existed in the world? Are they a recent phenomena, or have they existed since the dawn of man? If they've existed since the dawn of man, how has humanity become the dominant species? Like, apparently in this world, the only way to kill a ghoul is by using their own tendrils against them. And, yeah, how do you do that? How does primitive man figure that out? And how does primitive man actually fight these supernatural killers that eat people? It's kind of crazy. And then the other side of that is, if it's a recent phenomena, how did it happen? And I'm sure maybe those things will be answered as I get further along. I'm not saying that's a real big criticism. It's just a question I have. The second criticism, though, I think is pretty fair. I'm not a big fan of Kaneki's character. I know that he's the main character. I'm just not a big fan of him. He kind of has he's not as bad as Shinji Ikari from Neon Genesis Evangelion, and I hate Shinji with a passion. He is so annoying, and I get a lot of that vibe from Kaneki, just the whininess, the overly cringy whining and simpering that he always does.
I'd explain, but it's a long story.
So tell me, we've got time.
You're getting on my last nerve. You can't do anything right.
I'm well aware. Excuse me, Mr. Yomo? I know we're going food shopping, but what exactly does that mean?
Pack him up.
But he also has some of this righteousness in him, like Deku from My Hero Academia. So if you took the worst aspects of Shinji, but the best aspects of Deku and put them into one character, I feel like that's Kaneki.
I was just wondering, what happened to Hinami?
Why should I tell you? It's none of your business.
Please, you've got to tell me. 'Cause I want to help her. There's got to be something that I can do. Hey, I've got an idea, Hinami. How would you like me to teach you new words every so often?
Really?
Yeah.
I would love that. Thank you so much. Okay, so what's this one right here?
Which I'm not sure that's a good thing yet. Like, he just whines and bellyaches and moans about everything. Give credit to the voice actors. They do a good job selling it. But after a while, it's kind of like, dude, I'm getting so sick of it. Whatever the case. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand the ordeal he's going through. It's got to suck, you know, going from human to ghoul. But still, I'm just kind of like, wow. Okay, so enough about that. On to the game itself. I know y'all want to talk about the game more than the show. Okay, so the game itself. My thoughts on the ghoul. First of all, I don't play as Kaneki. Like I said, I play as Rize. Because after watching the show, I realized, and I'm sure Kaneki's character gets better, because people have told me his character gets better. But looking at it, I'm kind of like, why would you play as Kaneki as a killer when you should be playing as Rize? Because Kaneki isn't really a sociopathic man-killing monster, at least from what I've seen. He's more of just, at the beginning of the show, this whiny brat, and later on, apparently, some kind of vigilante who goes after ghouls or what have you. Again, haven't gotten that far. But it makes little sense for him to be a killer, in my opinion, unless you find some reason to make him homicidal. Which, I don't know, maybe there's a reason there in lore that I don't see. Honestly, Rize makes way more sense to me. You should play as Rize. You should get that skin, because not only is she creepy as all hell, and her face during her Mori animation is terrifying, but she is actually a homicidal witch. She is actually trying to kill and eat people. She does see humans as just cattle to be eaten. So she makes way more sense to be a killer than Kaneki. So I would honestly choose her as the skin, because she just makes way more sense, and she's way more creepy. Like, every time I heard Kaneki's voice while playing, it was just all this like very annoying noises. Her, more like giggling and snickering and all this. It sounded way more creepy. I don't know. It felt like Kaneki was trying too hard, but I'm once again critiquing stuff that doesn't matter. Oh my god. Okay, I'm stopping that. Okay, get back to the gameplay. So, I'm a killer main. I prefer to play killer when it comes to Dead by Daylight. It's my preferred thing. And I'll be the first to say that I feel like killers need love, you know, because quite often in the game, survivors will just bully killers. They will just bully killers. And I've also gotten those messages from very entitled survivors who just say, like, if I lose, if they all get away, haha, GG, easy, like stuff like that. But then if I do really well and I kill all of them, what a sweaty tryhard, what a loser, like, and then the death threats and all that kind of stuff. Oh my god. Honestly, I play killer because it's fun and I'm awesome, and I often solo queue. I often play by myself, so just playing killer makes more sense. So I'm always all for a really strong killer, but I would go so far as to say that the ghoul is broken. The ghoul is a little too strong. I don't want to say that they don't have any weaknesses. The big weakness of the ghoul that I have seen after playing several matches with the ghoul is very good at getting the initial hit, but they struggle against injured survivors. And what I mean by that is this. The ghoul's power is kind of a combination of the Blight, of Wesker, and Legion. And what I mean by that is the ghoul can use their tendrils to basically map traverse like crazy. They have insane mobility. They can move around the map super easily. And they can target a survivor and lunge at them and hit them and mark them with this bloody red mark. And then they gain a little bit of a boost. They can actually jump more frequently and with more consistency than before while they're in that state, while they're in the deep wound state. but you can't reapply it to them. You can't reapply it to them if they're injured. If they are injured, you can't put it on them again. You can only put it on them if they are healthy, which means that survivors mostly want to stay injured around you. And you might think, oh, well, that's good. If as long as they're injured, I can more easily down them. Yeah, but you have to hit them with basic attacks to down them. That's the catch. And that can sometimes be easy. That can sometimes be difficult, especially since Kaneki struggles in the loop with his base kit. And also his perks, the perks that came with him, most of them aren't really good for him specifically. They're decent perks all around, but they're not going to help him specifically very much. So I struggled a little with Kaneki at first because I didn't understand the perks he had, and I was trying to adept him. So I lost a few rounds with him, but then after that, once I decided to stop using his unique perks and use just perks that I thought would work better with his power, I haven't lost yet. I've gotten at least a 3K in every match with Kaneki. He's incredibly strong, has amazing mobility, keeps the survivors injured constantly. I've seen so many survivors just quit when they see that they're up against me when I'm playing the Ghoul. It's crazy. And the map load-in times right now with the Ghoul have been nuts. Like, as a survivor, I get in pretty quick. If I play as a survivor, I can get in pretty quick, but I'm guaranteed to get the Ghoul, it feels like. Meanwhile, if I'm trying to play the Ghoul, if I'm trying to get into a killer match, I could wait for almost 15 to 20 minutes just to get a lobby, only for a lot of the players to just quit once they know they're up against a Ghoul. It was painful getting to play some matches. That's why you're only seeing a handful of footage here. So that was the difficult part. So what would I say needs changing? It's honestly hard for me to say. I know that they're going to be fixing some things about the Ghoul, and I don't know all the details. I'm not an expert in those things. I'm just telling you my thoughts, my early thoughts on the Ghoul, and don't worry, the Ghoul will still get their dedicated video. I want to watch some more Tokyo Ghoul and get a little further in the series before I make that video, and I also need to finish some of the other videos first. I've got to do Trevor Belmont, I got to do the Hound Master, I got to do those videos before I even think about doing the Ghoul. So just wanted to let you know that I am going to get to it. I'm going to do the Ghoul, but I wanted to give you my early thoughts. I will also give you guys this. I don't normally do this, but I'd like to share with you some of the perk builds that I've made with the Ghoul that really worked. I'll share 4 with you. The first one is a good aura reading build. Honestly, I would say this is a good aura reading build in general, but since the Ghoul has such good map traversal, aura reading is very strong on the Ghoul. So what you want is Lethal Pursuer, Nowhere to Hide, Barbecue and Chili, and Pop Goes the Weasel. Those perks are very, very useful, I find, for finding survivors and, you know, just moving around the map to get to them very quickly. I think that's a very strong perk. So, perk build. So I would go with that one. Another one, and this one, I wanted to try to incorporate one of his own perks into it. So this is a good Hex build. You want Hex Nothing But Misery, Forced Hesitation, Surge, and I'm All Ears. The I'm All Ears will help you get those hits you need to capitalize on Hex Nothing But Misery. Surge will make sure that you're knocking down people and keeping generators from working. And Force Hesitation will protect your Hex perk. So, honestly, that's a good build for your Hex. Then you want a Gen Control build. This is a strong one. I would go with Corrupt Intervention, Brutal Strength, Scourge Hook Pain Resonance, and Eruption. I think that's a good build too, because you keep good gen control, you're keeping them off gens, you're knocking gens down a whole lot. That's a good build. But I think the best build that I've had, the most successful build with the Ghoul that I've had, is Friends Till the End, Jolt, Forever Entwined, and Dissolution. I think that's the best one I've had. Dissolution especially, when combined with Jolt and Forever Entwined, I feel like that just works really, really well. And then Friends Till the End, another good aura reading perk that allows you to get information quickly and then zoom around the map to get to your target. All of these are really good. And then, of course, the Mori itself. Oh my goodness, the Mori is so brutal. And again, when you look at Rize do it, it is horrifying, but it's so cool. I love it. So a very cool build overall, a very cool killer. And what I find so funny is this is the first anime character we've gotten in the game. We've had anime references like with Attack on Titan and stuff, but we haven't had an official killer or survivor directly from an anime. And this is the first one from Tokyo Ghoul. And I know that a lot of people requested this. Apparently this was something really popular. But after watching some of it, and again, I need to watch more, I'm a little surprised. I don't see how Kaneki as a character makes a good killer. Rize makes a better killer than Kaneki, but apparently there's more to the show and I need to get through it. And I know that people are going to say, watch it! I will. But anyway, I just wanted to share. I wanted to let you guys know, hey, I have been playing this. I've been playing this killer, and I've been enjoying it. I will close out by showing you one more Mori from the killer, and that'll about do it for me today. So thank you guys so much. And as always, I will see you in my next video. Oh, before I go, last thing. This last little Mori that I'm going to show you guys, it was so hilarious because this Leon, sorry Wex, but this Leon decided to get cocky. And what he didn't realize is that if I put you in the deep wound effect, you can't leave through the exit gates yet. He didn't know that, and he paid for it. So enjoy this. Enjoy this. In me power. I'll stop now. Okay, guys, have a good one. Enjoy.